Imagine yourself in a lush forest. You watch the treetops sway gently overhead, sunlight dancing between the leaves. You feel the soft breeze caress your face. You breathe deeply, inhaling the earthy fragrance. You hear the cheerful melody of a songbird in the distance. Your mind is clear. Tuning your senses to the forest is to indulge in Shinrin-yoku, a forest bath. Nature-based healing practices have spanned across cultures throughout history. The term Shinrin-yoku was coined by the Japanese Ministry of Forestry in 1982 as part of a campaign to get people back to nature. It inspired studies into the mental health benefits of green spaces like forests and parks, unveiling new insight into the physiological mechanisms that ease our minds. Continued research on green space and blue spaces, like coastlines and lakes, shows that reconnecting with nature is critical to our well-being and brain health. The biophilia hypothesis reminds us that our connection with nature has evolutionary origins. Bio means life and philia means love. Biophilia is quite literally a love of living things. Instinctually, our brains feel at home in nature because it is alive. In a recent EU survey across 18 countries, researchers found that spending recreational time in green and blue spaces helped to promote positive feelings while quelling rumination, negative and repetitive thought loops that often lead to stress and mental disorders. Participants in several studies on Shinrin-yoku regularly reported lower stress and diminished symptoms of both depression and anxiety. All of these subjective accounts have been backed up by measurable data, as studies have shown elevated levels of the feel-good neurotransmitter serotonin and decreased levels of the stress hormone cortisol after spending time in the forest. Imaging technology has given us a new window into what's happening within our brains when we are in nature. It has shown decreased neural activity in the subgenual prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain associated with emotional regulation, as well as decreased activity in the amygdala, the region associated with feelings of fear. Nature has such a profound effect that evidence suggests even viewing images of greenery activates our parasympathetic nervous system, known as our rest and digest mode. While the biophilia hypothesis posits that it is the life-sustaining aspect of green and blue spaces that makes them appealing to our primal brains, all natural landscapes hold intrinsic value. The stunning beauty of a desert vista induces visceral feelings of awe and evokes what is called soft fascination. Soft fascination describes when you are effortlessly engaged in what is going on, but without the need to act, just enjoy. Imagine watching waves crash against the rocks or observing the shifting colors of a sunset. The concept of soft fascination is a pillar of attention restoration theory, ART for short. ART proposes that our ability to focus attention is limited and that nature replenishes the brains by activating the default mode network, DMN. This network is active when the mind is at rest and may be linked to better cognitive function. One long-term study used brain imaging to find that more time outdoors increased volume in the right dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, the area involved in working memory, planning, and decision-making. Default mode may also explain the connection between nature and increased creativity, with one study revealing a 4-day hike with no technological devices boosted creativity by 50%. In our modern tech-centric world, the nourishment our minds get from nature is ever more relevant. Our attention is constantly in demand, and our brains are overstimulated. The result is increased stress and mental exhaustion. Moreover, our phones are robbing us of even more than our well-being. As well as being cited as one of the foundational sources of the current mental health crisis, studies have linked too much screen time with poor language, cognitive, and social development in children and adolescents. Humans of all ages are experiencing a crisis of loneliness as our lives increasingly shift to the online sphere. Exploring nature offers an opportunity to regain some sense of connectedness and grounding with reality. Science is only just beginning to unravel all the mysteries of the natural world that make us feel so good. we are discovering that nature may nurture us in ways that truly spark the imagination. Breathing in organic compounds released by plants and even observing natural fractal patterns may hold enormous benefits for both body and mind. While we explore the how and why, one thing is certain: our brains need nature more than ever. Maybe it's time to disconnect, so we can allow ourselves to reconnect with our world and with each other.